It was pretty funny, actually.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
After dinner, I was looking through some old boxes, and I found my old notebook from 2020.
Wow. A blast from the past. What kind of notebook?
It was my diary, my old diary. I used to write in it like every single night back
No
then.
way.
Yeah. And I totally forgot how much I actually wrote. It was packed.
That's
It's
amazing.
funding. It really got me thinking,
Hmm.
about keeping a diary, what it's all about. Maybe people listening have tried it or thought about it.
Yeah, I bet lots of people have, or been curious, at least.
Exactly. So I thought let's talk about it together in this deep
It
dive.
sounds like a great idea. It's a simple thing, but there's a lot to it.
Totally. So when I opened it up, wow, I started reading and remembered so many small things,
Like what?
like what I had for lunch one day, how I was feeling about work,
Mhm.
the usual stuff, but also really silly things my cat did. It was like stepping right back into that time. So what do you think? Is there real value in writing down those like tiny everyday details? Does it actually matter?
Oh, definitely. I think what's really interesting is that those little things, they aren't so little when you look back later.
Hmm. How so?
Well, they paint a picture, don't they, of your actual life day by day. It's like collecting little snapshots.
Snapshots, I like them.
Yeah, and together they make up the bigger story. You see how you felt, maybe how things changed over time. It's a way to, like, really remember your life, not just the big events.
That's so true. That makes a lot of sense. And, thinking back to 2020, my job then was really, really stressful.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of why I started the diary. I just write for maybe 5 minutes right before bed.
Just 5 minutes.
Yeah, nothing major. Sometimes just today was really hard, but I did my best. Something
Oh.
simple like that.
And did it help?
It really did. It honestly made me feel a bit better. Like I was letting go of the heavy thoughts from the day, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
Why do you think that works? Just writing down feelings like that.
Well, if you think about it, writing your feelings down, sort of, it helps you see them more clearly, maybe.
Hmm.
It's like taking all those jumbled thoughts buzzing around in your head and putting them out there on paper.
Okay.
And then you can kind of look at them, maybe understand them a bit better. It can make those heavy feelings feel, well, a little lighter.
Yeah, lighter is a good word for it.
It's almost like talking to yourself in a way, a private conversation.
Yeah.
And that can be super helpful when things feel tough.
Exactly. And like I said, it wasn't like writing long essays or anything. Sometimes, honestly, I just wrote one sentence.
Oh, yeah.
Like one time, I just wrote, "The sky was so blue today." That was it.
Right.
Do you think even those really short entries, those tiny moments, have any benefit?
Oh, absolutely. For sure. Even super short notes can be really powerful.
Really?
Yeah, because they make you pause, right? Just for a second. And notice something. Even something small, like a blue sky. And then when you read it back later, maybe months or years later, it brings back that little moment, that feeling.
Ah, I see. Like a little reminder.
Exactly. It's like you're collecting tiny pieces of happiness or just moments of noticing. Plus, doing it regularly, even if it's just a tiny bit each day, helps build a good habit.
That makes sense. Keeping it simple makes it easier to stick with.
Precisely.
I remember one entry. It's a bit emotional, actually. I wrote about having a really bad moment at work. I think I actually wrote about crying in the office bathroom.
Oh, wow. Tough day.
Yeah. But right after that, in the same entry, I wrote that a coworker noticed I was upset and gave me a piece of chocolate later.
Oh, that's sweet.
It was, right? So I captured both things, a really bad feeling and then that little act of kindness. Looking back at that mix, the sad and the good together, what does that kind of thing show us?
Well, that's life, isn't it? It really highlights that life is full of ups and downs, often right next to each other.
Yeah.
Writing down both the tough times and the good moments gives you a much more like real picture of what happened, a balanced view.
Okay, balanced, yeah.
And it also reminds you, doesn't it, that even when things feel really hard, there can still be kindness or little good surprises around the corner.
Mm,
It's about seeing the whole story, the full picture, not just, filtering for only the happy parts or only the bad parts.
That's a really good way to think about it, seeing the whole story. Okay, so slightly different question.
Hmm.
Have you ever thought much about the difference between a diary and a journal?
That's a common question.
Yeah, because I used to just think they were exactly the same thing. Diary, journal, same difference.
People definitely use the words interchangeably a lot,
Hmm.
and that's fine, but yeah, there can be a small difference, technically speaking.
Okay, what's the difference then?
So generally, a diary is often more focused on like what happened each day, your activities, events, and importantly, how you felt about them. It often follows the calendar day by day.
Right, like mine. Today this happened, I felt this way.
Exactly. Whereas a journal, it can include daily stuff, but it can also be broader, more about your thoughts, ideas, plans, dreams, maybe even stuff like work goals or notes on things you're learning.
Ah, okay.
It's maybe less tied to just recording the day's events and more about exploring your inner world, your thoughts, plans, that sort of thing.
So, diary, days, events, and feelings. Journal thoughts, ideas, plans, maybe less daily.
That's a pretty good way to sum it up, yeah. A diary often looks back at the day that just happened. A journal might be more about what you're thinking right now or what you want to do in the future.
Hmm.
It's often more focused on internal reflection or forward planning.
Okay, that actually makes perfect sense now. Because I guess I kind of use a journal now, but for work thoughts.
Oh, yeah. How do you use it?
Sometimes I'll just jot down things like what went well this week, or maybe how can I do better next month? Stuff like that.
Right. Reflective practice.
Yeah, it feels kind of like having a mini coach right there in my notebook,
Hmm.
helping me think things through.
That's a great practical application.
What are some other ways people use journals for like practical stuff? Not just feelings, but tasks, goals.
Oh, there are tons of ways. People use them for problem solving, writing out an issue to understand it better,
Hmm, okay.
or brainstorming new ideas, maybe for a project, or even just a hobby. Tracking progress on something you want to learn, like a new language or skill,
Oh, tracking, yeah.
or even just, like you said, for self coaching. Asking yourself questions, setting intentions. It's really a flexible tool. It's basically a private space for your brain to work things out.
A space for your brain. I
I
like
like
that.
that.
It does feel like that sometimes. Okay, so if someone listening is thinking now, maybe I should try this diary or journal thing,
Yeah.
what's like the number one easiest piece of advice you'd give to a beginner? For me, I always think, don't worry about making it perfect. It's just for you.
Oh, 100% agree with that. That's probably the most important thing. Just write.
Just right.
Yeah. Don't get hung up on spelling mistakes or perfect grammar or making sentences beautiful.
Right. It's not school.
Exactly. Think of it like a totally private conversation just with yourself. No rules. Nobody else ever has to see it unless you want them to.
Okay.
Knowing that, it takes all the pressure off? Makes it way easier to just start putting thoughts down.
Yeah, definitely takes the pressure off. And another thing, to make it more fun, back when I had my diary, sometimes I'd put little stickers in it
Oh, fun.
or do tiny, silly drawings in the margins. Nothing fancy, just little doodles.
Mhm.
What do you think about adding stuff like that? Creative bits.
I think that's fantastic. Adding creative touches, stickers, drawings, washi tape, even just using different colored pens can make the whole process more enjoyable.
Yeah, it felt less like homework then.
Exactly. It makes it something you might look forward to doing. And it's another way to express yourself, right? Not just with words, but visually too. Makes it feel more personal, more yours.
Totally. It really did make it feel less like a chore and more like a little treat for myself. Okay, and here's something else I tried back then, which actually really helped me sleep better.
Ah.
Do tell. Before I went to bed, usually after writing my diary entry, I started writing down just 3 things I was thankful for that day.
Ah, a gratitude list.
Yeah. And they could be super small things like, I finally finished that report, or I had a really, really good cup of coffee this morning.
Uh-huh. The little wins.
Or even just my friend sent me a funny text that made me laugh. Just 3 little things. And honestly, it seemed to help me feel calmer before sleeping.
Why do you think that works? Thinking about thankful stuff.
Well, focusing on gratitude, even for tiny things, does something really powerful in your brain.
Uh-huh.
It shifts your focus away from worries or stresses
Okay.
and puts it squarely onto the good things in your life, even the small positives you might normally overlook.
Right. Like the good coffee.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And that feeling of appreciation, it tends to boost positive emotions. It can calm your mind, make you feel less anxious, and just generally put you in a better state for relaxing and falling asleep.
Hmm.
It's like ending your day by counting your blessings, big or small. It sets a positive tone right before you drift off. That makes so much sense. It really did feel like ending the day on a nice note. Okay, so for everyone listening, maybe this is something simple you could try.
Yeah, definitely.
Tonight, maybe before you go to sleep, just take a moment. Think of 3 things, anything at all, that you felt thankful for today.
Good or bad day, there's usually something.
Exactly. You can just think them, or maybe try writing them down in a notebook if you want. See how it feels.
It's a simple practice, but it can really make a difference over time.
Yeah. And hey, maybe we can even check back in on this topic in another deep dive later if people find this helpful. Let us know.
That sounds like a good plan.
Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive today, what are the key things? Remember, a diary is usually about your day, what happened, how you felt.
Uh-huh. Looking back at the day.
And a journal can be more about your thoughts, ideas, plans, goals, maybe looking inward or forward.
Right, more flexible maybe.
And the big thing, you don't need to write a lot. A sentence is fine. And please, don't worry about perfect English or spelling. It's just for you.
Absolutely. No pressure.
And maybe try that little gratitude thing tonight, thinking of 3 things you're thankful for.
It's all about capturing your own life, your own story, in whatever way feels right for you.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. Think about this. What small, maybe happy, maybe just interesting moments from your day to day
Mm.
might you completely forget about tomorrow or next week if you didn't take just a minute to maybe write them down?
Ooh, that's a powerful question. Makes you think about how much slips away, doesn't it? How important capturing even the little bits can be.
It really does. Well, if you found this deep dive helpful and you want to explore more easy English topics like this with us, please do subscribe and maybe give us a like.
Yeah, it really helps us know what you enjoy and lets us make more content for you.
Thanks so much for joining us today for this chat.
My pleasure. It was great talking about it.
Thanks for joining the conversation here at Kaz English. We hope you found it fun and informative. Don't forget to check out kazapp.uk. That's kazapp.uk for more tips, resources, and interactive practice. Keep exploring, keep chatting, and we'll catch up with you again soon.